Hi, everybody. Okay. Hi, guys. It is time for Lily's news. It is only 5:06. Don't be mad. It's 5:06. Thank you for being here. How are you? I see Crystalline and the Lone Wanderer's Bunker in the chat. How are you guys? How are you? What's going on? What's happening? Okay. So it's Friday. I know I was kind of on my other channel this week. Sorry. Dog week, change of job, sick dog, did not make for a conducive creative week, to let's just say. But I am good. It was a very weird week. Very weird week. Strange. Did not sleep like at all. I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are sorted out and taking care of yourselves. I have things to tell you. That's why we're here, because I have things to tell you. Okay, so last week we talked about the Madeline Soto case, and there have been some updates earlier in this week that happened, and I'm going to tell you about them. So if you weren't here last week, Madeline Soto case was a big case that was down in Florida. It's been a couple weeks since since her body was found. There was a lot of hubbub, a lot of to-do around the mom and the mother's boyfriend, so Jennifer Soto and Stefan Soto. His name is Stephen, Stephan. Everyone's calling Stefan, Stefan. I call him Stephen because he doesn't deserve to be called the right name, because he's a piece of garbage. And so they dropped her off at school, and then she went missing. But they did not drop her off at school. Madeline's body was found just a few yards away in the woods off of the side of the road, where Stephen was seen pulled over to the side of the road earlier that day fixing a flat tire. His name should be Stefan. I like that. I like that a lot. So that happened. They, a couple days later, arrested Stepan because the same day that Madeline went missing, he accidentally factory reset his phone. I don't know if anyone's actually factory reset a phone, but it is quite a process. So you believe that everything's off the phone and gone and, scraped clean, but it's not. And a few days later, after they collected all the devices and did some of their preliminary detective work trying to find where this young girl is, they found photos, child abuse material on his phone of Madeline. So he was arrested. Madeline's body was found, and Jennifer has said nothing since. The mother, we haven't heard from her. And this past Tuesday, the news broke of 60 more charges added to Stepan's rap sheet. So let's talk about that. So there have been, I am so sorry I did not give a trigger warning. I sincerely apologize. I literally made a note to remind myself, if you are not comfortable with talking about, a murder case, a child murder case, CSAM, which is child abuse, any sort of of that, if that's not good for you, if it's triggering, I understand you not watching this. That is totally fine. There is triggering material that I will be covering, and I don't want to hurt anybody, and it is okay. There's no shame, no harm, no foul. So if that's not for you, then you don't have to watch it. Don't feel like you have to watch an update of something that is going to make you hurt in your soul. It makes me hurt in the soul, but I also feel that even if I can tell 5 people about something that they may not have seen on their own, it can kind of help spread the word. We're all kind of learning and growing, and that as well. So if that's fine, trigger warning. So his additional charges this past Tuesday: 8 counts of sexual battery of a child under the age of 12, 5 counts of the same of a child between the ages of 12 and 18, 7 counts of lewd and lascivious mole. I'm not going to finish the words because YouTube doesn't like the words, but you guys are adults and understand the words. 40 counts of possession of unlawful materials depicting S performance by a child. So the initial charges that he had that got him arrested and thrown in jail and, as they say, put on ice, were S battery and possession of child abuse material. Okay. Or CSAM, as they say. So going back to 2019 is when all of these photos and videos were discovered, all the way starting back in 2019. So in 2024, at the end of February, she turned 12 in 2024. She turned 12 a few days before she went missing, before she was murdered. The day before she was murdered and went missing, they celebrated her 12th birthday. So in 2019, 5 years ago, I don't need to say the words. I don't need to say it. So about 6 years, there's been kind of discovery that has gone back on like Facebook where people have seen Stephen be kind of a part of Madeline's life. So like the relationship got to the point where they were around taking pictures, going out places like that together. How long he's been with Jennifer, don't really know. The exact dates of when they met, when they started dating, don't really know. But there have been hundreds and hundreds of pictures and videos found on Stephen's electronics. Hundreds upon hundreds. This young girl. I want to say young woman because like you're 12 and you like want to grow up, you know? When you're 12, you're like, I'm growing up. I know when I was 12, I was like, I want to be grown up. But I think there's a massive unrealistic use of the words young woman, which I've heard many times. Like I think I talked about it a while ago in like maybe there was something with like a young girl happening. When reporters and content creators say young woman, your mind responds differently than when you hear the word child. So it's just like ingrained in the brain that a young woman is in the process of maturing. You know, she's growing up, she's going to be free, but she also needs to learn the ways of the world and to, you know, button up and bend at the knees type of thing. A child is a child. And Madeline Soto is a child. I still maintain that something shifted in her. One of two things. She got a boyfriend or she just got tired of it and fought back. I'd like to hope that she stood up for herself at the end. I 100% agree, Lone Wanderer, that something did change. There has been a lot of speculation. Hi, Deborah. How are you? There has been a lot of speculation on what exactly changed because we don't know yet. I know that we will eventually learn what actually transpired. I know that will happen. There's been a lot of speculation on a bunch of things, and I have like a whole like tab of speculation in my document. So Lone Wanderers out here reading my mind. Okay, so it's been about 6 years that Stephen was in Madeline's life. And Jennifer apparently mostly worked at night. So she did late nights or kind of like mid shifts to like nighttime. So she wasn't always around. And when school's out, you know, kids have like summer break. Apparently, okay, this was something that I learned this year. Apparently kids have like the winter break. And then they go back to school. and then they have like a like spring break, and then they have a spring break. It was very strange. Oh, Deborah, I'm okay. I'm better now. It was a really tough week. I am very tired. I am very tired. So I learned that, like, at least in like upstate New York, there's like an added week of time off that I know when I was in grade school, I never got. It was like you go to school, you got spring break, and then you got winter break, and maybe you got like 1 or 2 like Columbus Day off or something like that. You know, like it was never, we didn't have all those damn breaks. But when kids are off of school, they stay home. They're in their house. And when during the day, maybe mom's sleeping, then mom goes to work. What does Steven do? We don't know. We don't know what his at the time job was, which also makes my brain like immediately speculate, which we'll get to eventually. Follow the tree. Follow the tree with me. Trust me. So that's when I believe that there was a lot of added abuse. He would have the security of mom being at work, interruption free, which is awful and heartbreaking. Absolutely. This whole thing is absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely. So his job was never really narrowed down. There is, however, a video of a few years back that caught some people's eyes, and everyone has kind of been reviewing it. So this is from a few years ago. And early on in the case, I remember very distinctly that there were claims that he was, at least at some point, a Disney employee. This video is from a YouTube channel where they were at Epcot, and they were just kind of panning around and checking everything out, and they actually caught a glimpse. There's a good solid still, I'll pull this video, of what people believe to be Steven. So let's check it out, and let me get, tell me what you guys think.
Fine, folks. He's presumed innocent at this point. These are just allegations. This is the way our system works. But this is the information that is coming out and the allegations that are coming from seemingly everywhere now. Now, Stephen Stern's Facebook page says that he worked at Disney World, and many people have been wondering if that could possibly be true.
And obviously many people are wondering if that could be true due to the high numbers of children there. He's kind of like, it's kind of like a shark in fish-infested water. Sharks eat little fish, and if there's a lot of them, they're like, they can choose. Like, there's the terrible energy of like, this monster was in the midst of children who are experiencing the happiest place on earth, right? They're supposed to be at a safe place that is encouraging imagination and creativity and fun and comfort. Kids should feel comfortable. Parents should feel comfortable having their kids run around. Obviously, keep an eye on your kids, but you should feel comfortable taking your kids to Disney. Like, that's the baseline that Disney wants. Disney wants kids' eyeballs because kids' eyeballs equal parents' wallets. So yeah, it would be one thing if it's like, oh, he works at a doctor's office, but his victims are children. It wouldn't feel as awful. For fuck's sake, why are they always freaking Disney employees? You could do a whole episode on the creeps who work. Yeah, the cruises. Oh my gosh, I have heard some terrible things. But let's get.
Considering the crimes that he's accused of. But some online sleuths believe they've tracked down a video that appears to show Stephen Stearns working at the entrance of Journey into Imagination in Epcot in a video posted on Travel in 360's YouTube page.
Mind you, this is not confirmed, but there is a somewhat group agreement that it is a really good chance that it is him.
Still from that image from the beginning of the video. Gray Hughes, again, pointed this out to me, where you can see a Disney employee who appears to look a lot like Stephen Stearns. Gray, looking at this, were you surprised, shocked? What else did you learn about this?
I wasn't really that shocked. I think he might be working for like maybe a contract company.
Makes sense.
Then Disney can then claim that he didn't work for them.
So that was all that I wanted to show you of that. And if he did work for a contract service, then, then Disney does have the ability to be like, well, we didn't directly hire him, but we hired a contract. So, a contract service, contracted service. So we have to, they have to vet their guys. We vetted the company. They have to therefore vet their own folks that they bring in. So it's, it's a whole thing. I don't think anyone is out here directly blaming Disney in any way, shape, or form. These monsters exist amongst us. They are so good at blending in, and that's the scariest part. So I really don't think there's anyone necessarily to blame for him getting a job that would put him in Disney, if that is true. Allegations. This is all alleged. We do not know for sure that is him. It does look a lot like him, but we do not know for sure if it actually is him. They are so good. They are so good. Steven has had 38 years of learning how to blend in and hide his creepiness to get the advantage and to be creepy when he wants to be. So I don't think anyone at Disney or the contractor service is to blame for the murder of Madeline Soto. I think you can't ask someone for their phone at a job interview and say, show me your photos. You can't do that. It's I don't think anyone there's, I don't know. I just start thinking about things. Okay. So I wanted you to see that is happening online. So far, there hasn't been anything to come out that says that there were other victims. So when the new charges came out, it was all not noted to be the same or other victims. So we are currently unsure if it was just Madeline or if there were others. I really hope, I really, 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 really hope that there weren't others. I really hope that. I wish that Madeline wasn't a part of that. I wish that she was still here today. But I do hope that there are not others. But I have a feeling that there probably are. There was also, sorry, I was just looking at my notes. There was also a big kind of moment that came online with this case a few days ago. It was someone posted something in the Facebook group about, the unfortunate events of Madeline Soto. And it was someone that was like, I was friends with them. They did an interview. The Facebook post was about like a family member that claimed that Jennifer knew. Sorry, I'm getting my two confused. The Facebook post was that a family member of Jennifer Soto knew what was going on and all that stuff. And then there was an interview with a childhood friend of Steven. Now, I think it is okay to listen and read these things as they come out. I think that is okay. Right? You can listen to the interview of the supposedly, allegedly good childhood friend of Steven and how he was a creep and how he kept jars of his male excrement. Not excrement. Excretions? How would you say that? Male ejaculate. You can listen to those stories. And I think it is good to come up with opinions and develop your thoughts and develop your opinions on such interviews and stories of the past. I think it is okay to read the Facebook posts and listen to people talk about the Facebook posts and to develop your own opinions and continue to develop your opinions and be smart about your opinions. Now, those pieces of information are not given to us through a police report, through a police, I wanted to say PowerPoint, like a police press conference. They are not coming to us from court documents. They are not coming to us through like trusted, reputable news sources. They're coming from a Facebook post where anyone can post. I don't know about you. I run into a lot of liars on Facebook. It's really easy to find people who are lying about who they are on Facebook. I don't know about you, but I've come across a lot of people who lie about who they are IRL. So in my opinion, I think it's okay to listen to them, but do not treat them as fact until they are actually vetted to be factual. I just think it's safer for, and I don't want to say like I'm part of the true crime community. I mean, it's so weird. I enjoy talking about true crime and kind of like breaking it down and kind of rethinking and retalking because it's just something that piques my interest. But it's really important to continue to acknowledge that this was a Facebook post. This was, an over the phone interview online. So I think it's good to listen to it, understand it, take it in, but don't necessarily treat it as fact until it has been proven to be so. Crystalline says, I cannot wrap my head around this. It is very sad that a person that you once trust can do that to you. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. Jars of his just add water. Oh my God. Yeah, there was a lot of strange behavior that his like old childhood friend mentioned. Kind of like stalkings and weird energy and conversations and the jar thing. A lot of weird behavior that he talked about. And it's very concerning. I could believe it all. Do I believe it all? No, because it hasn't come to me in a factual, here is the evidence sort of way. The Facebook post, I honestly I saw a video of someone saying this person posted this Facebook post and they're the aunt, and I'm like, okay, I can't get into that until I am shown how and why that it is true. Because the problem with these high profile cases are the rumors, the speculation. That's what gets everyone sort of twisted and tangled and confused. And the rumors just spread, and it can do more harm than good by talking about something and you're telling falsities. If you're telling like unproven information to a large audience, it can do so much more harm than good in so many different ways. Not just the family seeing it, but for, just investigations as a whole. Really take the information. If it is, stick to the facts. Stick to the facts. I think it's fine to do a little bit of speculation. It's okay to say, well, we have this information and this information, but in the timeline we're missing, the how it happened. I think it's okay to speculate, but saying it as it is a fact is very dangerous. And I will continue to, go through this and do my own speculation, but it is not going to be fact because it's my own thoughts that fit sort of within the actual event. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Okay, so we got this. And to be clear, there have not been any murder charges for anybody. We have not heard from Jennifer, the mom, and Stephen is still locked up behind bars now with 62 counts against him that are all sort of involved in the line of CSAM and the creation of it. The ME report, the medical examiner's report, has not come out yet, so we don't know the manner in which she was unalived. And we also do not have the toxicology report back. The toxicology report does take and can take a good chunk of time, especially if they do want to be thorough with their search to see if there actually was anything of any sorts in Madeline. So I think that's fine. I would like them to take their time to be thorough, to double, triple, quadruple check, because the moment they come out with this information, everyone is going to be on top of it, and everyone is going to be breaking it down and sort of picking it apart. So I would rather them to wait, do what they need to do. If they need to find Jennifer before they say this stuff, like, is she gonna flee? They got a lot kind of going on with this. So I think in about a week, if we don't hear back by, like, in a couple days, I'd say maybe like midweek. If we don't hear back, can you call me back, Emmy? If we don't get that released soon, I don't know. I don't really know what it'll mean, but yeah, they have all eyes on them. You know, everyone is waiting and everyone is wanting this information, so it has to be right. Jennifer's Soto, Madeline's mother, she has stayed silent since her television interviews. I'm sure she lawyered up and they said, shut up. Because when you get a lawyer, they're going to say, shut completely up. Stop the words from leaving your mouth. If it's a good lawyer, they'll say, hey, real quick, shut the fuck up. And don't talk. They will tape your mouth shut. Don't talk anymore. Stop talking. Even if you are 100% innocent, shut up. Because the police, look, I am very much a cab. Okay? Yes, I'm going to trust the information that's being released from the police when it comes to something like this, but I am very much a cab. And they will do just about anything. Okay? And by just about, I mean literally anything. And they will use every single deep sigh against you, right? So just shut up. Shut up. Like, shut up. It is the most important advice I can give anyone who's in any sort of trouble with police officers. Just shut up. Get a lawyer and just shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. So the question is that I've been seeing online, where's Madeline's biological father? I haven't seen him speak up. I haven't seen any interviews, so I will not press it. Some people are pressing it, and I think that is absolutely irresponsible, and I think that is absolutely disrespectful. A good father, a bad father, not around father, left when you were two father, whatever thing is happening, he is making a choice as of right now, this very moment, to not say anything. So he is choosing to, I believe, mourn the loss of his daughter. Right? So I don't think there's any reason that you need to flood the internet with this man's photo from when Madeline was like 3, right? You don't need to flood the internet with trying to find who this man is until it becomes necessary. If there's an inkling that he was somehow involved or somehow knew what Stephen was capable of or was doing, then let's bring him into the conversation, right? But I think as of right now, I think I would like to land on the thought that he is grieving the loss of his 12-year-old daughter that he had with a woman who he has unfortunately been separated from for a good chunk of Madeline's life. And I'm not really the think the best about, someone person. So until it's necessary, until we get a piece of information, I think we can just internet, leave the man alone. His daughter was just murdered by another man. Okay? I think that's fair. And I too have been seeing a lot of people ask about what changed, the speculations on if he was okay and everything was fine with the continued abuse for years and years and years with Madeline. what changed, what happened, what shifted. And I've seen a lot of people speculate to the point of declaring it the truth, which I am very disappointed in, that Madeline was pregnant. I saw someone declare the truth that Madeline, this is not my words, that Madeline was 4 months pregnant, right? I saw someone say that. We do not have the proof of that. What? The medical examiner has not even done, like, we don't have the information. Unless you yourself are the medical examiner, you do not know. Unless you yourself is Madeline's best friend that would know a secret like that, then you do not know. So, I don't know what happened, and I don't know why, but I do agree that something changed and shifted. I too, like Lone Wanderer, hope that I hope she got a few hits in. I hope she fought. I hope he didn't take like a sucker's way out. I hope that I don't know what I think. I don't know. All I know is that this is the worst that anyone could do to a 12-year-old girl. I don't know. I don't know what I hope for. I don't know what I hope happen. I don't know. I mean, I don't want her to have suffered, but I mean, she was suffering for years, but if she was 4 months pregnant and her mom did nothing about it, golly, I don't know. So, yeah. Current conclusion on Stephen. My question is, like, was Madeline the only victim? He was almost 40 years old. Who was he selling to? If he didn't currently have a job, how was he making money for groceries, car payment, gas, lights? How was money entering his bank account? And I believe that it was probably from selling the CSAM. Okay, so it's 5:40. Let's move on to another case. I talked about, I'll call it like the first half of this, maybe like a month ago, maybe 6-7 weeks ago. I don't know if you guys remember Jennifer Crumbley. She was the mother of the school shooter who was found guilty on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. We talked about her lawyer and how she was like a fumbling blob of a person, and how her lawyer in open court was having a hard time with technology. And she said, "Oh, if this doesn't work, I'm going to unalive myself in front of the parents of kids who were unalived by the defendant's child in 2021. I don't know if you remember that. But so let's do a quick little skedaddle through this, and then we're going to end with something fun. We're going to end with something silly, goofy, lighthearted, not as terrible, because we need to end on something not awful, for my sake. Okay, so James and Jennifer are the parents of Ethan Crumbley, and Ethan Crumbley was a school shooter. He did unalive 4 students and wounded 6 or 7 other people in the process as well at Michigan's Oxford High School in 2021. This event was described by many as an execution. He demanded students to get on their knees before he shot them, and then he would shoot them again just to make sure. Ethan Crumbley said to the judge, and I quote, "I am a really bad person. I have done terrible things that no one should ever do." And he was a kid that wrote a lot. He had like journals, and he would draw. He was a really good artist. And he even wrote that he wanted to do this for the notoriety. He wanted to be the biggest school shooter in Michigan. And there were many things in his writings, though, like asking for help from his parents over and over again. And he was just like being laughed off by them, having to move to a different room in the house as his bedroom because his original bedroom was just too disgusting to live in, and his mom said, I'm not going to clean it anymore. So you just go to a different room. That's a disorder. That's disordered living. You know how we have disordered eating? There's a whole spectrum of disordered eating. That's disordered living. If you are 15 years old and you are unable, and I'm not saying spotless, dust free, no sticky soda can rings or anything. I'm saying it's okay if your clothes aren't folded. Just shove them in the drawer. Like my clothes are just shoved in. You don't have to hang up all your clothes. You don't have to vacuum every day, but a little bit of organization is really good to teach your child. And at 15, he was unable to handle it, and it got bad to the point where he basically turned into like a hoarder. It was so bad. It was so messy. It was unlivable, even though he had 2 parents in the house. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm so long-winded. I'm sorry. Okay, so in 2023, Ethan Crumbley pled guilty after pleading not guilty for a little bit, but he eventually did plead guilty, so the whole trial wasn't necessary. And he accepted his charges and the punishment, and the judge was not easy on him. Okay, he received at 17 years old a life sentence without the possibility of parole. So he was 17, a legal child, and he had the harshest punishment the judge could hand down. And he was legally a child during the shooting and legal child at sentencing as well. And even though there is a Supreme Court ruling that life without the possibility of parole for a child is excessive, there is an exception for that rule, and the judge agreed and believed that Ethan Crumbley was the exception of that rule, that life without the possibility of parole was acceptable and the due punishment for that. So that's fair. But this is not where it ended for his parents, James and Jennifer. While Ethan was being sentenced, James and Jennifer were getting their own legal troubles sorted out, because not only did the evidence point to parental neglect, but also opened up a window to set a precedent when it comes to the actions of minors versus parental responsibility. And I think this is really big and really important, and I agree with the outcome wholly. So Jennifer and James were both charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter each, and they both pled not guilty, meaning trials, baby. They were tried separately. Jennifer went first at the beginning of the year. I watched a majority of that trial, and it was very sad. I will never forget, there was a teacher who Ethan did shoot in the shoulder as she was barricading the door and getting the special door lock set. I will never forget her face when she was going through that moment again on the stand, for us to understand the amount of fear and the amount of stress and all of the emotions, the guilt, the regret of not, maybe pulling it. There's so much there, right? There was so much happening, the confusion, the you're kind of floating outside of your body, having an out of body experience when you're trying to not bleed out, but get your door barricaded, but you don't want to freak out your friends and coworkers because you got hit by a bullet. And you don't want them to leave the room to come and help you, because what if someone is still out there? And then having the pressure and the anxiety of when the police show up, are they actually the police? You got to open the door and everything's stuck and you're in so much pain, and the pain, all of that, I will never forget. And I really hope that Jennifer was listening. And I really, really hope that Jennifer was taking that in, right? Whew. That was one of the most, I try to watch a lot of trials. I don't know why I'm intrigued by the court, trial process, but it is very interesting to me. And that testimony was very, very moving. So, I don't suggest watching it if you don't have to, but it was Very, very moving. So Jennifer's trial was full of testimony that shined like a massive, like a spotlight of negativity, directed at her parenting skills. She was avoiding her child's pleas for help. She also had a lawyer that was not the best. We talked about that. And so there was also like at least one affair that came out during discovery. So I'm sure her then husband loved that. You know, the affair that he didn't know about, now on a public stage for millions and millions of people to see. And when the charges dropped for Jennifer, well, dropped on them, they weren't dropped. When the charges hit James and Jennifer, they immediately, you know, kind of separated, contact free. It's just easier. They have their own defense attorneys, they have their own trial prep, they have to separate, and I think the affair was like really separated. You know, discovery can ruin lives. Jennifer was then found guilty by a jury on all 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter early February. And then James' trial started just a couple weeks ago. And seeing how her trial went, I'm sure that he was feeling very like not confident on his defense, right? So he was there the whole time with Jennifer at the house when Ethan was growing up, ignoring Ethan's cries for help, ignoring the signs, ignoring the history of violence with animals, ignoring their son, fostering an environment without consequences, giving Ethan the space to allow the darkest, most depraved thoughts enter his brain and like set up camp in his soul. Like they allowed all of that to happen. They saw it happen. They watched it happen. They were there as it was happening, and they did absolutely nothing about it. So how cool would it be if Coke was like, hey, I like you, I'm gonna sponsor you? That would be so funny. So James, unlike Jennifer testified, James did not. He's like, I'm going to jail if I testify or not. Because when Jennifer testified, it made her look awful. She was not smart. She is not smart. She was terrible. James, so a little backstory on how did he even get the gun. James bought the gun for Ethan Black Friday 2021. Then 4 days later, the event took place. And there was no direct evidence that the gun case was locked ever. The lock that came, it was kind of like a bundled deal, I guess. The gun, the box, the little foam, came with a lock. That when it's purchased, it's individually wrapped in plastic. At the time of the investigation, when like the cops showed up to the house to, you know, search the house and figure out what the hell's going on, the lock that came wasn't even taken out of its plastic packaging. Locks work when you use them. The other factor that I believe made it very clear to the jury that the parents were useless was the school counselor's testimony. This was also very useful for the trial, very hard to listen to. A lot of guilt and regret was felt when this human was speaking. And I hope that he himself is able to sort of overcome that guilt, knowing, getting, you know, a little bit of justice here and there for what has happened. It's not enough. There's never going to be enough, but so the school counselor called James and Jennifer to the school the morning of the event, right? And I'm calling the school shooting the event because I don't want to say that. I keep saying that word. The morning of the event, the counselor called Jennifer and James, hey, come to the school. We have to have a chat. some things are happening with Ethan. Come chat with me. So they all kind of sit down together and he says, hey, like, here's this piece of paper. It's a drawing of a person, a gun, a bullet, blood. And on it, he wrote like, help me. And like, my life is useless. So all of that information is on this piece of paper, which is like a math assignment, right? So the teacher grabs the math assignment and has this really, you know, like I said, he was a good artist, intricate piece of work. And it's actually a cry for help. Ring, 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 come to the school. Hey, they're at the school. Here's this. You should probably take your son home. He needs to get some help. He needs a little bit of help. He needs some mental health help. Take him home. It's okay. Give him the rest of the day. Figure out if you need help, where to go. You know, if you need help on who to call, let me know. Like that type of energy. And they were like, we got to work. We got to go back to work. He can stay. And at that point in time, nobody knew that the gun that was bought by his father on Black Friday 2021, 4 days earlier, was in his backpack, loaded. So, James was then found guilty by a jury on all 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. And the 2 of them will be sentenced April 9th together. Cute, right? Good for them. It's all just gross negligence. Jennifer's guilty verdict was the first time in history that a parent was found guilty of a school shooter's actions and the result of the death from the school shooter. The first time. James, the second. This is precedent-setting trial. I mean, this is a warning sign to these failures of parents. I'm not saying all school shooters have failure parents, but I'm not saying that a lot of them do. Okay. This is a warning to parents that your child is your child, and the majority of your child's actions can somehow eventually fall back under your responsibility. And when it comes to buying a child who has been crying out for help a gun and not taking the steps into locking it up and not letting them have access to it, you're guilty. I think it's very good. I think it's very interesting. I think it's very good. I think it's very good. A lot of people, I've heard other opinions where people think that it's overstepping, that the child made that decision themselves, but they also made the decision to ask for help. They asked, and parents, you are supposed to be able to give it to them, to supply that help to them, and not laugh in their face. But what do you guys think? We have a lighthearted thing. We all remember Risa Tisa, right? We all remember Who the Fuck Did I Marry, right? The 50-part series that took TikTok by storm. Well, a production company called 9/10 Productions already done made a low-budget movie. Yep. And let me just say, right, like, this is not what we wanted. This is not what we wanted for Who the Fuck Did I Marry. We wanted big budget. We wanted big names. We wanted Miss Risa Tisa to make bank, fill up your bank account, right? By selling your story to a massive production company. We wanted Risa Tisa to win. Not some no-name, no offense, production team to tarnish her name and story. But either way, I watched it. I watched it, and let me tell you, okay, it definitely was not 9 out of 10. It definitely was not 9 out of 10. It was very low budget. I mean, they filmed it edited it, uploaded it. I think it went up yesterday, like less than 24 hours ago. And it's what, maybe been a month since her series came out on TikTok. Maybe been a month. So I thought I could share some of it with you. Do you want to see some of it? Okay. You guys better buckle your seatbelts because this is a wild ride. Okay, so this is the opening scene. I will show you. This is the opening scene of The Wife That Didn't Know Who She Married. That's the title of the movie. You can watch it. It's on YouTube. It's free. It's called The Wife That Didn't Know Who She Married. Exclusive viewing. Exclusive, y'all. It's exclusive. Okay, so this is the opening. And so if you don't want me to ruin it, don't watch. But this is the opening. Her name is Tess, not Teresa. Names are swapped. Places are swapped, and you'll notice that. That pause was so long. That pause was so long. Oh my God. You guys, I'm not even in my thingy. Sorry. Nothing is wander, like, thank you. Did I switch? I think it switched. There we go.
Xavier, I just want to ask you a question, and I just want you to be honest with me.
Longest pause ever known to man.
I already told you.
Calm down. I'm just asking you a question. You never went to Morehouse. You never lived in Atlanta. I'm actually quite sure you've probably never been outside of DC, Maryland, or Virginia.
Come on.
DC, Maryland, Virginia. They changed the states. My thing is, you know, no, I can't even. What am I supposed to say? Oh, wow, that's so good. Like, this is so, I'm uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable? This is making me uncomfortable.
Of course I lived in Atlanta. Of course I went to Morehouse. I told you, man. Yeah, I showed you the house and everything. Told you my dad paid for my private citizenship.
He just keeps dropping his hand on the bed, and it makes such a loud noise that every time he talks and it happens, it just takes me completely out, and I just like hear all I heard was his hand flopping on the bed.
What you talking about?
Xavier, I called Morehouse. They have no record of you. No record whatsoever.
Man, look, Tess, I'm sick.
Okay. I just don't think this is going to work for me anymore.
So this is very much a flash forward. We all remember the story. She finally approaches him, and that's when things take off. You know, that's when like the whole get out of my house, you know, blah 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 happens. So this is a flash forward. This is the intro, the very beginning of the movie. And so we have not climaxed with all of the information yet. And this is why I don't like a flash forward at the beginning. Usually I don't like when the ending is shown first and then it's like, this is how we got there. It's like, this is my mom, this is my dad, and this is me, and this is my crazy life, let me tell you how it all happened type of energy. I don't like it, because let me have the end of the story at the end of the story. Let me start and grow and build, and like we get our little peaks and valleys and peaks and valleys, and then we have our final like, give me a story before I know the ending. Even though the majority of us know how it ends and we know how it begins, treat the information as such. Or give me a piece of the ending of the relationship and start it off with the absolute bang. Like, start it off at the highest point of the final fight, which is her screaming on the phone, screaming at Legion to get out my house. Like, oh, he got money. He got the auntie on the phone. Oh, he got money. He don't need money to leave. He don't need money. Like, give me the tippitiest, Show me Risa Tisa be the not Risa Tisa that we've seen in her videos, that we see in her day-to-day life. Show me the absolute beast mode that she had to go to get this stranger out of her home. Show me that, and then bring me back down. And show me the normalcy, the new relationship, the fun, the dates, the this and that. Show me that and tease us to get to that point. Lone Wanderer says, I hope he doesn't accidentally drink the PE Powerade. I know. And when I tell you the Powerade is a paid actor, I think Powerade might be the only paid actor. And it's so long. This is so long before we get into the story.
Tess, what are you talking about? Our marriage? What, you don't want to be married to me no more?
I don't want anything. I don't want to be married. I don't want you living here anymore. I'm done.
The sound on this was also really hard. The sound levels were tough. Sound levels were tough for me on this. Now, remind you, it is not a high budget film. It is a low budget film. But let's go to when COVID hits. Oh, hello. Oh, nope.
All of my favorite places. But then Governor Larry Hogan shut down the.
So COVID hit and they're doing a shutdown, and so now we get glimpses of Risa Tessa in her car making her TikToks, telling the story. Then it cuts back to as it was happening between the two of them.
State. So now the next question is, where we gonna quarantine at?
We can go to my spot. We can go over there and chill. Now look, I got TV, everything, baby.
I'm just going to stop it there. He did say, I got Tubi and everything. Last time I checked, Tubi was like majority of its content free. Red flag babes.
That's cute. But anyway, listen. Right now they got me staying in the studio apartment. I'm waiting for the house to get done. Waiting on a relative and stuff. So right now I'm staying over there. So I'm gonna show you this.
Oh, maternity leave? I hope they can find you another realtor though.
I'm waiting for them to email me something like that. I'm just waiting on them.
Oh, okay.
My thing is, I think, okay, so we get a little bit of the Legion character that's playing here. Was it Xavier? Legion was smooth with his lies. I don't think Legion was smooth with his lies. So, in my opinion, I think it would have been a lot easier if for the actors to portray that if they didn't know the story, or if they did know the story, to understand just how smooth he was. It was second nature for Legion to lie, and it still is, because this man stay lying. It was second nature for him to lie. So to help your actor break down, I'm going into like some deep, like pulling from my roots here, to tell your actor to break down the character, and they say, oh, he's a liar. Okay, well, I mean, anyone can lie about something, but he's a really good liar. Oh, okay, well, just sound convincing. No, be convincing. You believe it, that it's not a lie. You believe your lie so much that it's to you not a lie. To someone else it is, because they will eventually know the truth. But to you, it is the truth. It just may not be truthful. And I think the conversation between the actor who's playing Legion and the director was a little disingenuous when it came to how he lies, because I don't think they were quite understanding that his lies were so easy and so believable. So believable.
Look, I got this whole 3-bedroom house. There's plenty of space. I don't want.
Also, this lighting is like wild to me.
Be by myself.
But they were working quick. They were working fast, okay?
I understand, Tessa, but I just don't want to feel like I'm moving in on you. You know what I mean?
I get that. I am a church girl, and my family, they don't play that shacking up. Well, look, I saw the paperwork. I know you ain't good.
He stays sucking down that Powerade, which I don't think was necessary. I don't think that was a necessary choice. I think it should have been reinforced and reinforced when he was laid up with his knee. But the script, Reese's story, got cut down so much for this, that we don't even fully understand the changes that he went to in that last month or two in the relationship with his bad knee. We weren't given a time frame of this relationship in this movie. I'm just telling you all these things so when you eventually go to watch it, because you don't have anything to watch it 1 a.m. and you're like, I want to go to sleep, and you put this on, I'm telling you the things that will hopefully explain why what you saw from the Risa Tisa series to this feels weird. Yes, names are changed, cities are changed, the timing of how things were given to you. He immediately on the first day was like, I got a bad knee injury from playing football, right? It was like, I have a knee injury, when in my remembrance brain was that the knee injury was a bigger conversation when it started hurting and it laid him up, right? And he started taking the pain pills and everything sort of started to deteriorate. The lies and his body were deteriorating at the same time. And we're not given that in this film. I could literally spend 3-4 hours breaking down each line of this film. But that is not to say that they didn't do an okay job with this. That is not to say that. They did it really fast. They edited it really fast. They put it on the internet very fast. They're going to get a good chunk of views very fast. Fast is not always best. Also, do we have approval from Miss Risa Tisa? Did she sign off on this? Did she say, I will not sue you if you make this?
like I'm cool with it, but
I just have so much to say.
I am a church girl. And my family is just really, it's not gonna be okay with it.
Church girl. You're a grown woman.
I know I'm a grown woman, but I told myself, I'm like, look, I am not letting a man move in or moving in with a man until I'm married.
I respect that. We just go to my place.
No, I'll be more comfortable here, and I don't want to be here by myself.
How about this? You give me all the bills here. The water bill, the BG&E, the rent, whatever you gotta pay. I got you. Tessa, I probably shouldn't be saying this so soon, but I'm falling in love with you.
We're moving on. You know exactly what I'm gonna say. No, you're not. Why'd your eyes get so big? Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is amazing. This is just absolutely amazing to me. This is absolutely amazing to me. Oh, hey. Okay, we have 2 more little clips left, and then we are all done.
$40? What?
So this is when she does a little snoopy snoop on his phone, right?
Oh. And what costs what? $60. Ho. Don't tell me this nigga is out here tricking. This nigga out here tricking?
Sorry about the N-word.
What the fuck is this?
I didn't make the movie.
What is this?
Tess, why is you at my phone?
$40? $60?
I love that shirt, though. That is such a good shirt.
You out
I
here
want it.
tricking?
Tricking? What you talking about
You out
tricking?
here tricking? I still ain't got my house, my car, but you out here tricking.
Tess, come on. You really think I'm tricking? What did you mean?
It's right there. I'm reading it. I saw this with my... You know what? That the red flags have been here. This was it, right? This is what I needed. It just took... That was it for me. That's
What
it
you
right there.
talking about?
I ain't even mad. That's
What
what's
you
up.
mean?
No, bet.
Who got you the house?
Bet.
What you doing on my phone? And
So that was a really great moment. I was actually like really surprised by the actress there. I think she did a really good job. I do have some notes. But I think she did a really good job in that moment. She's working in a very tight space. She is working with not the best, I would say, in my opinion, camera setup. Do I have a solution? Absolutely not. But this is the internet, so I can say my opinions. So I think she did a really great job right there. The Legion character, what's his name? Xavier. Still tough for me throughout the film. Still tough for me because I want to see what Risa Tisa saw. I want to see that. That's what I want to see as a viewer. I want to see the smooth. He's nice. He's giving you all the good, like, oh, he doesn't, and then give me a believable. What are you talking about? Right? Give me, but then have like a little blunder. Have a little fumble with the phone or on this text message, like have a little bit of the very arrogant, dramatic, I'm lying, but like he keeps it in really good, Okay, let's just do one more. The last one, I need you guys to see this. So, oh my gosh, why does this happen to me every time? This is the last, not the end of the film, but
Call me back.
this is when the police show up because the Legion character is back at her house.
What? He has... Okay.
I don't want you to do anything yourself. Just call me back and we'll handle it.
Okay, I'll call you as soon as I get there. If he's there, I'll give you a call.
That's right.
I get back to the house. I'm in the car. His dumb ass pacing back and forth, worried about Powerade, drinking Powerade. He ain't even noticed me in the car, sitting right there looking at him.
I don't know what happened, but I'm going to need that man to have a limp. I'm going to need that man to be injured in the knee. I'm going to need him to have a very, very convincing, dramatic limp. I don't need him walking around comfortable.
Okay, yeah. So he's right outside the house. He's walking back and forth outside the house. I don't even want to approach him.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Look, stay in the car. Don't do anything. I've got units coming. That's right. Stay in the car.
I'm going to just stay in the car. I'm going to just stay away till someone comes.
Yeah, just go get in the car. Why are you continuing to have a conversation outside, literally across the street from him? Just get in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is very much like the setup of like those horror films where like, what are you doing? Don't answer the door. It's the bad guy. We all know it's the bad guy. Just get in the car. This moment, this scene here, oh, I had problems with. No Powerades were harmed during the making of this film. I don't know, honestly. The Powerade might have been harmed. I don't know. We're gonna have to check the stocks before and like a week after this film.
All right, bye. 156. You in the area?
It was crazy out there. I'm talking about an episode of SVU. I ain't never experienced nothing like this before. All these police cars, my neighbors out here, white neighbors looking. It's embarrassing. Look like somebody got murdered over there. Whole time, he's still thinking he in the right, still talking shit.
Guys, I'm having a good time.
This is just a lot. It's so much. Like, I didn't even expect all of this. I told him don't come to my house, and he came anyway. I said do not come. Okay. Like, you wouldn't believe like what I've been going through, everything I've been discovering about this man. Then I find out from the captain.
I'm gonna need that police officer to be taking notes. Maybe notes on the encounter of of the harmed party.
He has a warrant for an FTA. Did you know that? It's just crazy. It's like,
I want the answer. Did you know that? Yes, ma'am. We have coming on scene, we understood that there was a warrant out for his arrest. We like give me something back. Try to calm her down. Anywho, that's that. If you want to watch it, it is called The Wife That Didn't Know Who She Married on YouTube by 9 out of 10 Productions. So go watch it if you want. It is only like an hour long. And the best part is that there are like featurettes in the beginning of other movies based on other, I guess, like criminal instances, like the girl who saw the toddler on the side of the road and then like disappeared. They made one. Yeah. So go watch that. But anywho, the jewelry is not standard issue. It could get ripped off you during a pursuit. Not sure if that's standard issue lip gloss either. It was nice lip gloss though. Like, to be fair, like her mascara and her lip gloss were really nice. But yeah, that necklace was completely not good. I wish that they were a little more, like tough. If they like toughened her up a little bit. Just kind of maybe like with a vest or something, or at least like a walkie and a notepad, or if there was like a moving scene where where she kind of kept her away to finish the conversation. There's a lot of energy here. If you want me to, I will go through scene by scene of this with my thoughts and opinions, but that's only if you want me to. And other than that, that's it. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following, and I will see you all next Friday here on Lily's News on Insane Games TV. Lily's News. This is Lily's News. There's also other wrestling content as well if you guys are interested in like wrestling and stuff like that. Other than that, I'm going to take off. I hope you have a good night, a good weekend. Stay safe, be good, and I will see you all next Friday. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I'll see you guys later. Okay, I think it's this one. Bye, Crystalline.